As a leader at HoneyBaked, it's your job to master the skill of glazing, but you also hold the unique opportunity to train others how to glaze HoneyBaked's world's best hams. Creating an environment where they can accept your feedback and apply it immediately is important. Being able to point out areas for improvement will be vital to ensuring that glaze meets HoneyBaked's world's best standards. Mastering the skill of glazing takes practice and a clear understanding of each step. As a trainer and coach, you will need to be able to clearly outline what a glazer is responsible for doing and why it's important to follow each step in the process. As you coach the trainees, you'll need to remember how important it is to hold to our world's best standards, since the hams being glazed will ultimately be the center of the table for a special celebration. In the words of some of my famous coach friends,
I think everyone should take the attitude that we're working to be a champion. Every choice, every decision, everything we do every day, we want to be a champion.
Coaching is unlocking a person's potential to maximize their growth. No excuses, no explanations. You don't win on emotion, you win on execution. Hi, I'm your coach, and today I'm going to coach you through your coaching training so you'll be able to properly coach glazers to ensure they're able to deliver glazes to standard in a short amount of time. Now let's go ham. You learned in the glazing video the importance of wearing hair restraints, clean gloves, clean aprons, and safety equipment. As a leader, you should lead by example and maintain our high standards for food safety. But, since this is an elaborate movie set, I don't have to. There are 5 steps to training that you should use with each freshman glazer to make the process easier for them to learn and replicate quickly. Step 1, tell. Step 2, show. Step 3, do. Step 4, practice. Step 5, recap. Fun fact, these steps also apply to life. The first step to training is telling them what it is that is expected. This is where you'll set up a clear expectation. This will include watching the glazing video, pointing out all of the job aids available to reference, the glaze section of the ham evaluation tool, glazing in front of the trainee to demonstrate the proper way to glaze, looking your trainee deep in their eyes, into their soul, if we're really being honest, and telling them, really telling them that... Where was I? Talk to the trainee about the importance of heat in the glazing process. Make sure they know that while sugar will melt, the dressing that gives the ham the distinctive flavor will burn quickly. Glazing is a two-handed function, and the key to being a successful glazer is to melt the sugar and apply more once it is all melted and it's a delicious caramel color. If you hold the torch too long on the sugar, creating a lot of heat, it will burn. And only the lowliest of ham appreciators likes the taste of burnt sugar. Carl. Anyway, the dressing that we use to finish our glazed products does not melt. It will be absorbed in the hot sugar. Anything that does not get absorbed must be blown off. That is why it is so important to hold the torch 1 inch away. There are some key statements that you will use to address issues you see when the trainee begins to glaze. Be sure you're familiar with them. Your torch is too fast. This means the trainee is moving the torch too much and they should slow down the movement. Speed up your torch. The trainee is holding the torch in the same position for too long and they need to move it. You have a sugar cap. Too much sugar was applied and raw sugar will be under melted sugar. Many times this cannot be fixed. Have the trainee hold the torch 1 inch from the surface and see if they can blow off some of the excess sugar. The sugar is burning. The trainee needs to add a thick coat of sugar immediately. The surface is too hot and needs additional sugar to adjust the color and thickness of the glaze. Go lighter. The amount of sugar being applied is too thick. Go heavier or thicker. More sugar needs to be applied to achieve the right glaze color and thickness. A funeral is no place for a clown. Can you believe... No! Now that you've told them, and they've listened, the next step to training is showing them what it is that is expected. Starting with how the torch connects to the gas line, how to activate the torch, how to turn on and off the gas, how to light the torch, how to hold the torch, proper way to place the torch in the holder and adjust when not in use, how to properly hold and move the sifter from side to side, how much sugar comes out of the sifter depending on how full it is. A full sifter will pour slow, whereas a quarter full sifter will pour much faster. How to use the glazing ring or apparatus, the proper way to mount products to be glazed. How to properly use a fortune teller. Only the fortune teller holds the key to your destiny.
Stop it.
Just to make sure the process sticks, it will be necessary to glaze again in front of the trainee. Have the trainee verbally tell you how far above the product you hold the sifter when you're applying sugar. That'll be 6 inches. Hold the torch when melting the sugar. Also 6 inches. Hold the sifter when you're applying dressing. That's 2 inches above the product. And finally, how far above the product you hold the torch when blowing off excessive dressing from the surface of the product, which we know is 1 inch. Now it's the trainee's turn to demonstrate what they've learned so far. It's very important to give the trainee all of the information to ensure that it sticks. It is also beneficial to have the trainee tell you the reason they're completing each step. This indicates that they know what they're doing and why they're doing it. The best way to get the trainee involved during the beginning is to have them perform only one of the tasks at a time. For example, have the trainee hold the torch and use it while you as the trainer apply the sugar or dressing with the sifter. Once the trainee has the hang of using the torch, switch roles and have the trainee apply the sugar or dressing with the sifter. After each glaze, have the trainee look at the final product and review if the glaze meets HoneyBaked's world's best standards. After a few times, you will now give the trainee the opportunity to perform both skills together on his or her own. You need to stay close by to continue giving them coaching and continue to evaluate each glaze once the product is removed from the glazing table. This is the preferred method of training how to glaze non-holiday and holiday. For this reason, it is best practice that you use a ratio of 1 to 3. You should have 1 trainer for every 3 trainees. When training a group, it is vital that they are watching each other glaze and every member of the group gives feedback. Continue to let the trainee practice their craft. Once the trainee is getting the right glaze color and coverage, you need to begin checking the glaze weight. This will ensure that each product has the proper amount of glaze. After the trainee has mastered the color, coverage, and glaze weight, you'll begin checking their time. Remember, they should be glazing within 90 seconds per bone-in ham. The final step in the practice stage is to give the glazer feedback on the amount of waste. Ensuring that the sugar is being applied to the product and melted is important. Excess use of sugar creates extra waste and adds to the cost of the ham. Mastering the glazing craft may take longer than 1 training session. Plan hours and your time accordingly to ensure that your glazers have adequate time to practice. Glazers should be up to standard in at least 10 hams. Plan to recap with your glazers at the end of the training class and at the end of each shift until they're consistently delivering the world's best glaze. During this recap, ask them to tell you how they feel they're progressing, what areas they feel they need more practice in, specifics on the glaze weights and times for their shift. Complete a ham evaluation as a group and have them tell you if the glazes meet the standard. Use the product quality cards and other job aids to coach freshman glazers. And in the words of some of my famous coach friends, "Dadgummit, the greatest mistake is to continue to practice a mistake. Some people practice until they get it right. We practice until we can't get it wrong. If I'm not leading by example, then I'm not doing the right thing. And I want to always do the right thing." Delivering the world's best ham is no small task, but spending the right amount of time coaching your glazers is vital to your success. Coaching is not just tossing out a few cliches and leaving your team to figure it out. Stay with them and encourage them and give them praise when they complete the task correctly. Just like your trainees, be sure to evaluate how you are progressing as a coach and talk to experienced glazers at neighboring stores. Teaching someone to glaze can be a challenge, but using these steps will help you to get them to standard faster and ensure that everyone is delivering consistent glazes. Remember, the HoneyBaked glaze sets us apart from everyone else. Your position ensures that each customer gets a quality glaze on every ham we sell. And at the end of the day, you are what makes the difference and ensures that each meal and celebration where HoneyBaked is served is memorable.